Alright YouTube, what is up? It's Ryan, Queen City Guiding here. Just going to redo the Pine Squirrel Leech video here. This is a little bit different color scheme than we tied in the last video. This is one of my favorite flies. I've used this all across the country for trout of all species, all sizes. This Ahrex hook that is in this pattern can hold some big fish. I've caught very large trout on the size 10 hook in some very heavy current, so I trust this hook for much bigger fish than you would think. So if you guys haven't before, please, or if you're new here, just please like and subscribe. We're just looking to continue building this up, and I'm gonna pop this fly out here, and we're going to tie one together, and I'll show you guys how we do it. Okay, so for our hook and bead combo, we are going to come in with an Ahrex FW550 size 10, and I'm using a 3.5mm slotted tungsten bead. This is our slotted tungsten beads from Fly Tying Source here. And let me get my hood off, it's getting hot in here. The thread we're going to use for this fly is Veevus 6/0 in the color black, and we're just going to get that started right behind our bead. Trim out our excess, and we're just going to put a small piece of 025 lead jammed up in the bead here, like I usually do. It's just going to help us keep this bead in place. And it's going to build a little bit of a taper to our body. It's a little long. I'm going to trim it down just a little bit. And bring our thread right back to the bend of our hook, right about our barb, as you can see there. I'm just going to let that hang. We're coming in with a little bit of flash for our tail here. I just have a very small piece of black holographic Flashabou. It's about 2 inches long. And I'm going to tie that on my side with a few wraps, 2-3 wraps up it, and then I'm going to fold it back over. Come over top of those with a couple wraps, and I'm going to put a half hitch in, just so then we can pop this out of the vise, and then nothing's going to back off on us. It's just keeping everything down and tight. So yeah, this is our black pine squirrel. As you can see, it's got a natural way it wants to fall. So we just want to we're going to pop our hook out of our vise, and we're going to puncture this strip about a little bit less than an inch of that. We want to stick out the back for our tail. Kind of try and show you guys how I do this, but it might not work on the camera here. Okay, so we got that punched through. I just want to get it down around so we can get it back in the vise. Hopefully you guys can see that. And I just like to split my hair where I'm going to come over top of my thread. Make sure this is pulled, your rabbit or squirrel strip here is pushed all the way up to the front, just so it's not hanging up our the bend of our hook. I'm just going to pull this forward and come over this with 3 wraps. And then pull that down tight, and then we're going to pull this material back, and then advance our thread in front, and we're just going to clean up this body and make it nice and smooth with our thread, just so then when we come over it all with the squirrel, it's just a nice smooth transition, and everything goes on smoothly and evenly. I like to hit this with a little bit of super glue right now, right here. Gel super glue, just one spot on there. Just going to help those wraps stay in place if anything were to happen. Now I'm going to take my hackle pliers, pop them onto the end of this squirrel strip. One thing when I do this is I want to make sure this first wrap goes almost over top of where it is tied in. Another thing that helps a lot is sweating your fingers with this, and you can just keep this material teased towards the back. And that's just going to help you to not trap as many of these fibers as we're moving this forward. We're just doing touching wraps with this and just keep working it back. And then once we get up to here, I'm going to flip this over in my vise. So once I got this to here, I want to figure out, pull our hackle pliers off first, sorry. I'm just going to split this hair so we can come through it again with our thread. I'm just going to trap that with 1-2 wraps right on what will be the bottom of the fly. Trim out our excess. And I like to just pull everything back and then come through and just clean up this head area. Make sure you're tying down that squirrel, the strip, the end of the strip. And once that's tied down, these flies are very durable. Just put in a couple half hitches there. Sorry, let me get you guys all focused on everything again here. So yeah, did a couple half hitches, and I'm going to pull my thread up towards the top. Trim out our excess. We're going to come in with a little bit of UV. Seal this with up with some UV. I'm going to use the Solarez the thin hard formula on this one. I'm just going to put one little spot right up top here, right where I got those thread wraps and where I pulled my thread too. So it's just going to seal that area up and make it nice and durable for us. And I'll check back with you guys in a second. I'm just going to put a spot here and hit it with the light, but you don't need to see that. Okay, once we got that all sealed up, we are done. And this is just like I said, just a little leech pattern, squirrel leech pattern. I love this pattern, mostly because of its versatility. I like it because it can be, I can nymph it. I can tight line this pattern because you got that tungsten in there. I could also strip it. I can swing it. Just a little bit of tungsten in there, and that lead allows me to just fish this fly many different ways. And I love it as a searching pattern. Even a technique I like a lot with this one is just jigging it. Sometimes after I'm done fishing through a pool, I will just purposely sit there and jig this thing through that pool. And it's funny how many times that jigging motion of a leech will just drive fish crazy, and they'll just come hit it. So, as always, links below will take you to these materials. I'm working on the squirrel. That's the one thing I do not have through the shop here yet. I will get a distributor for that, and we will have it in the shop here. Available for you guys online and in the shop. So just please like and subscribe. I appreciate the growing support, and tight lines, everybody. Stay safe and go catch some fish. Later.